Intelligence is not always visible in grand achievements or loud words. Often, it manifests quietly in the habits we form, the way we observe, and the way we resist the noise of the world. There are 7 peculiar habits that, when present, reveal minds shaped by depth, reflection, and subtle discernment. Habit 1. Solitude in thought, the quiet power of the mind. In a world that relentlessly demands our attention, the first habit that marks an exceptionally intelligent person is the deliberate pursuit of solitude. This is not the loneliness imposed by circumstance, nor the emptiness of isolation. It is a conscious choice to retreat from distraction, to observe, and to think. For the intelligent, silence is not absence, it is presence. It is where clarity forms, where the mind, unshackled by noise, begins to understand itself and the world. The Stoics, especially Marcus Aurelius, recognized this early. He often reminded himself to withdraw inwardly even while carrying the immense weight of an empire. In his meditations, he writes, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." The truly intelligent understand that every hour spent in reflection strengthens their ability to act with precision and reason. In solitude, they cultivate patience, sharpen insight, and resist the urge to be swept by fleeting emotions. This habit of thought is not passive, it is rigorous. It is the discipline of observing one's impulses, cataloging reactions, and discerning patterns that lie beneath everyday appearances. The world bombards us with trivialities, social obligations, fleeting trends, the ceaseless chatter of opinions. But the intelligent mind recognizes that most of these do not demand engagement. Instead, by stepping back, they perceive the currents that truly shape life. They see cause where others see chaos, opportunity where others see only distraction. There is also a moral dimension to this solitude. The wise understand that character cannot be built in crowds. Only when alone, when undistracted by the judgment or expectation of others, can one confront the true self, its strengths, weaknesses, and hidden tendencies. Seneca writes in Letters from a Stoic, "Associate with people who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve." Yet before one can engage wisely with others, one must first master the art of self-association, inward, contemplative, disciplined. Solitude also enhances creativity. The mind that is constantly in motion, responding to noise, has no space to weave connections or form insights. But the intelligent who embrace moments alone discover solutions that elude the hurried. They notice subtleties in behavior, patterns in events, and possibilities in circumstances that the distracted cannot. Their silence becomes fertile soil for imagination, strategy, and profound understanding. But let us be clear, solitude is not mere withdrawal. It is an active engagement with one's thoughts and the realities of existence. It requires courage because it exposes us to the vastness of our own mind, where illusions and fears dwell. Yet the intelligent face this inner world not to escape life, but to master it. They understand the Stoic principle that the mind, disciplined, is the ultimate fortress. Nothing in the external world can disturb the inner citadel of thought if it has been fortified through solitude. In practical terms, this habit manifests in daily life as reflective pauses, journaling, contemplation of decisions before action, and moments of intentional disconnection from the digital or social noise. It is the ability to walk alone, to observe without comment, and to think without distraction. It is a habit cultivated over years, yet its effects are immediate: greater clarity, emotional stability, and the quiet authority that intelligence brings. To the outsider, solitude may seem strange, even uncomfortable. Yet those who practice it know its profound power. They navigate life with a steady mind, impervious to unnecessary agitation. They understand people not only by observation, but by introspection, sensing motives, patterns, and truths that others overlook. In this quiet, the intelligent shape their character, their reasoning, and ultimately, their destiny. Thus, habit 1, the embrace of thoughtful solitude, is far more than a preference. It is the foundation of high intelligence, the Stoic discipline of the mind, and the invisible force that shapes the most capable, wise, and resilient individuals. In a world obsessed with noise, the intelligent choose silence, and through that silence, they conquer themselves and quietly the world around them. Habit 2. Emotional mastery, the quiet strength within. The second habit that distinguishes a truly intelligent person is the mastery of their own emotions. This is not the suppression of feeling, nor the cold detachment from life's experiences. Rather, it is the disciplined understanding that emotions, when left unchecked, become chains that bind reason, distort perception, and enslave action. The intelligent recognize this truth early. While others are swept by anger, envy, or fear, they cultivate a calm, deliberate mind. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, repeatedly reminds himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Intelligence, in its deepest form, is inseparable from emotional control. The mind that reacts impulsively cannot analyze, cannot strategize, cannot perceive reality with clarity. By mastering their emotional life, the intelligent create a steady platform from which to act decisively and wisely. Emotional mastery begins with awareness. One cannot control what one does not recognize. The intelligent observe the stirrings of anger, anxiety, or desire as they arise without immediate judgment or reaction. They understand that these impulses are natural, products of human biology and circumstance, but they are not commands. Seneca wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom, in this context, is the ability to act according to reason rather than reaction, to choose deliberate responses rather than surrender to instinct. This habit also requires patience. Emotions are seductive. They promise immediate satisfaction, but leave chaos in their wake. The intelligent resist these siren calls. When provoked, they pause. When insulted, they consider. When tempted, they evaluate the cost beyond the moment. Each pause, each deliberate choice strengthens the mind's resilience. The emotional storms that overwhelm the untrained are met with a calm observer, a mind that has learned to remain steady in the face of turmoil. Furthermore, emotional mastery enhances social intelligence. The intelligent see beyond the surface of interactions. They understand that the anger of another is often a reflection of their own weakness, that jealousy is fear disguised, that flattery can be a trap. By remaining composed, they gain insight into the true motives and character of those around them. They are not easily manipulated, not easily provoked, and rarely caught off guard. This silent control inspires respect, often without a word, for others sense the power of someone unshaken by emotional chaos. Yet mastery is not coldness, it is depth. It allows for genuine empathy, the ability to act compassionately without losing oneself, to engage deeply without being consumed. It is a strength that is invisible but unmistakable, an inner fortress that protects clarity, reason, and purpose. Practical practice of this habit includes daily reflection on emotional triggers, journaling moments of irritation or fear, and mentally rehearsing responses before acting. It involves meditation on mortality, impermanence, and the transient nature of all events, the Stoic techniques that prevent small annoyances from overwhelming the soul. Over time, these practices cultivate a profound serenity, a quiet authority that is both magnetic and protective. In a world dominated by impulsive reactions, loud voices, and emotional manipulation, the intelligent stand apart. They do not need to dominate conversations or situations. Their mastery of themselves is enough to navigate life with clarity, precision, and unshakable confidence. Thus, habit 2, the conscious cultivation of emotional mastery, is more than self-control. It is the Stoic art of living with reason at the helm, of observing without being overwhelmed, and of acting with strength that comes not from force, but from the quiet authority of the disciplined mind. It is this inner calm, this unyielding control of one's inner world that defines intelligence in its truest and most powerful form. Habit 3. The relentless pursuit of knowledge, thinking beyond the surface. The third habit that separates the intelligent from the ordinary is an insatiable curiosity coupled with disciplined learning. This is not the kind of superficial knowledge that fills empty conversation or decorates social media profiles. True intelligence manifests in the relentless pursuit of understanding, the drive to see beneath the surface of life, to question, to analyze, and to grasp the principles that govern human behavior, nature, and the self. The Stoics understood this principle deeply. Seneca wrote, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Knowledge for the intelligent is not an end in itself, it is the scaffolding of wisdom. A sharp mind recognizes that the world is intricate, that events are rarely as simple as they appear, and that every action, every word, every motive carries hidden layers. To navigate such a world effectively requires curiosity sharpened by reason and reflection. This habit begins with observation. The intelligent notice patterns in human behavior, cause and effect relationships in events, and subtle cues in interactions that most overlook. They read widely, but they read critically. Philosophical texts, historical accounts, and even the seemingly mundane details of daily life become teachers. Marcus Aurelius, in Meditations, constantly reminded himself to learn from every person he encountered, from the smallest observation of nature to the grandest expression of human ambition. Knowledge is not reserved for the classroom. It is woven into every interaction, every challenge, every thought. But curiosity alone is insufficient. Intelligence requires disciplined reflection. Information without comprehension is noise. The mind must absorb, evaluate, and integrate knowledge into an actionable framework. The intelligent spend time thinking deeply about what they learn, questioning assumptions, and testing ideas against reality. They understand the Stoic distinction between things within their control and things outside it, and they apply knowledge to discern wisely how to act in the world, not merely to collect facts. This pursuit of understanding also fosters humility. The more one learns, the more one realizes the vastness of what remains unknown. A truly intelligent person does not claim to have all the answers. Rather, they recognize the limits of their own perspective while striving to expand it. Epictetus emphasized this mindset. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Humility and curiosity coexist in a dynamic tension that drives continuous growth. Moreover, disciplined knowledge-seeking cultivates foresight. The intelligent anticipate consequences, recognize opportunities, and navigate challenges with an awareness that most lack. They do not act on impulse or superficial impressions. They act from insight. They see the undercurrents of society, the subtle dynamics of relationships, and the patterns in their own mind. This foresight, born of persistent inquiry and reflection, becomes a practical tool for decision-making, influence, and personal mastery. Finally, this habit transforms life into an ongoing exploration. Each problem becomes a lesson, each failure a teacher, each success an opportunity to deepen understanding. Intelligence, in this sense, is a living, breathing process, a continuous refinement of thought and character. It is not measured by external markers, applause, or recognition,
but by the depth of perception and the clarity of action that knowledge produces. In a world distracted by surface appearances and fleeting gratification, those who cultivate this habit rise above. They do not chase trends, they chase truths. They do not settle for what is easy to understand, they probe what is complex and uncertain. In doing so, they develop not only intellectual sharpness, but also emotional resilience and moral clarity. For understanding the world is inseparable from understanding oneself. Thus, habit 3, the relentless pursuit of knowledge, is the hallmark of intelligence in its truest form. It is curiosity disciplined by reason, observation refined by reflection, and learning integrated into life. It is a quiet power, invisible yet undeniable, shaping a mind that sees clearly, judges wisely, and acts with deliberate precision. In cultivating this habit, we do more than accumulate knowledge. We fortify our capacity to navigate life, to master our impulses, and to become individuals of profound depth and enduring wisdom.
Habit 4. Mastery of silence. Speaking less, observing more. The fourth habit that defines exceptional intelligence is the mastery of silence. This is not mere quietness or social withdrawal. It is the conscious choice to hold one's words, to observe before reacting, and to understand the immense power contained in restraint. The intelligent understand that speech is not just communication, it is influence, perception, and reflection of inner character. As Epictetus reminds us, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Silence, then, is both a tool and a mirror, revealing the depth of one's mind while guarding it from the careless influence of the world. In a society addicted to noise, opinions, and instant reaction, those who master silence stand apart. They do not feel compelled to fill every gap with words or prove themselves through constant assertion. Instead, they recognize that every word spoken carries weight, shaping perceptions, creating ripples, and often revealing more about themselves than intended. A wise individual measures speech against reason, purpose, and consequence. They understand that silence can communicate authority, confidence, and self-possession more profoundly than the loudest declarations. The intelligent use silence as a lens of observation. By refraining from speaking prematurely, they allow themselves to absorb information that others miss. They notice the subtleties of body language, the hidden motivations behind words, and the unspoken patterns of interaction. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, frequently reflected on the need to observe human behavior dispassionately, discerning truth beneath the surface of appearances. Knowledge gained in silence is sharper, more precise, and free from the distortions that impulsive reactions often bring. Silence also cultivates emotional control. To speak impulsively is often to surrender to fleeting anger, insecurity, or desire for approval. The intelligent restrain their words as they would restrain a wild horse, knowing that the moment of reaction is rarely the moment of clarity. They understand that the mind, like a calm lake, reflects reality most accurately when undisturbed. By mastering silence, they master themselves, preventing the chaos of external provocations from dictating internal peace. Moreover, silence grants strategic advantage. In negotiation, conflict, or influence, restraint in speech signals strength. Others, unable to predict your reaction, reveal more than they intend. Your words, when finally chosen, carry impact. The Stoics taught that self-command is the ultimate source of power, and nothing demonstrates self-command more effectively than knowing when not to speak. Seneca warned against the danger of excessive talk. Every man who has been a fool with his tongue has been a fool with his life. Words, when ill-considered, betray intellect. Silence preserves it. Yet this mastery is not the absence of expression. The intelligent speak when their words are necessary, precise, and deliberate. Each statement is a tool, chosen for its effect and its alignment with inner values. They recognize that influence is amplified by discretion, that depth is shown not in verbosity, but in the weight of well-timed insight.
Silence, therefore, is not emptiness but preparation, an attentive stillness that shapes action, understanding, and character. In cultivating silence, the intelligent also protect their inner world from toxicity. Gossip, manipulation, and the trivial distractions of society cannot penetrate a mind that chooses not to engage in every debate, not to react to every provocation, and not to publicize every thought. Their energy is preserved, their focus unbroken, and their clarity intact. In this quietude, they find freedom, resilience, and an almost imperceptible authority. Thus, habit 4, the mastery of silence, is both shield and sword. It allows us to see what others overlook, to act with deliberate purpose, and to cultivate a mind unshaken by the noise of the world. In silence, we strengthen self-control, sharpen perception, and command respect without uttering a single unnecessary word. It is a habit that transforms intelligence from mere knowledge into profound, actionable wisdom. And it sets the truly capable apart in a world where everyone else is shouting.
Habit 5. The relentless practice of self-reflection. The fifth habit that marks the presence of exceptional intelligence is the relentless practice of self-reflection. This is not a casual glance inward or a fleeting thought about one's actions. It is a disciplined, almost ritualistic commitment to examining every thought, every choice, and every emotion. The intelligent recognize that the battlefield of life is first within, and the clarity of the mind depends on its ability to confront itself honestly. As Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. What we allow to dominate our minds shapes the very essence of who we are. Self-reflection is a habit that separates those who are merely reactive from those who are masters of their destiny. In a world obsessed with distraction, immediate gratification, and external validation, the intelligent turn inward. They scrutinize the motives behind their actions, the subtle impulses that guide their decisions, and the emotions that threaten to undermine reason. This examination is not motivated by self-pity or indulgence in guilt. Rather, it is a deliberate pursuit of clarity, discipline, and growth. Epictetus reminds us, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." The intelligent are perpetually students of themselves, uncovering layers that remain hidden to the complacent. Through self-reflection, destructive emotions lose their grip. Anger, envy, fear, and impulsive desire are dissected and understood, stripped of their power over our actions. The intelligent observe these feelings as phenomena, not as masters. They recognize that emotion is a signal, a message about what we value or fear, but not a command to be obeyed blindly. By contemplating our responses, we cultivate the Stoic ideal, freedom from the tyranny of our passions. Seneca teaches that no man is free who is not master of himself. Reflection is the forge in which this mastery is created. Moreover, self-reflection fosters a profound understanding of others. By examining their own weaknesses, biases, and patterns, the intelligent become keen observers of human behavior. They detect motivations, intentions, and subtle dynamics that elude those who never pause to question themselves. The mind that is trained to recognize its own flaws naturally perceives the flaws and truths in others. This is why highly reflective individuals often navigate social complexities with such precision, while the unreflective stumble blindly through life, guided only by instinct or habit. Self-reflection also creates resilience. Life is unpredictable, and the external world cannot be controlled. What can be controlled, however, is the mind's interpretation of events and its response to adversity. By continually reflecting, the intelligent prepare themselves for the inevitable challenges of existence. They anticipate their reactions, refine their decision-making, and strengthen their capacity to remain unshaken. Stoicism teaches that the obstacle is the path. Each reflection, each examination is a step toward the fortitude necessary to endure life's trials without surrendering inner peace. Yet, this habit is not mere rumination. The intelligent couple reflection with action. Insights gained are not left to linger as abstract knowledge, they are applied rigorously. Each day,
They test themselves, correcting errors, refining strategies, and reinforcing virtues. This is the alchemy of wisdom, thought transformed into deliberate action, insight into habit, and reflection into strength. In cultivating self-reflection, the intelligent also shield themselves from the superficiality and chaos of modern life. They are not enslaved by fleeting trends, the judgments of others, or the incessant noise of society. Instead, they measure themselves by enduring standards, reason, virtue, and self-mastery. Every decision is filtered through this lens, every emotion weighed against its alignment with inner values. Thus, Habit 5, the relentless practice of self-reflection, is both sword and shield. It allows the intelligent to see clearly, act deliberately, and remain steadfast amidst life's turbulence. It transforms ordinary thought into profound insight and emotion into disciplined power. In a world of distraction, impulsivity, and chaos, self-reflection is the secret habit that creates minds capable of navigating life with clarity, strength, and unshakable purpose. Habit 6. The art of strategic silence. The sixth habit that distinguishes the truly intelligent is the art of strategic silence. In a world addicted to noise, commentary, and constant affirmation, the ability to remain silent is a mark of rare intellect and inner strength. Silence is not born of fear, passivity, or weakness. It is a conscious choice, a disciplined restraint that allows thought to flourish while the chaos of the external world is held at bay. As Epictetus reminds us, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. The intelligent understand this ancient wisdom, applying it not only to conversation, but to life itself. Those who have cultivated strategic silence recognize that words are weapons, tools, and sometimes liabilities. Every spoken sentence carries the potential to reveal weakness, spark conflict, or betray intention. By speaking sparingly, they maintain control over their influence and avoid unnecessary entanglements. Silence, then, becomes a shield against manipulation and a sword in the exercise of power. They do not compete in the endless noise of social validation or prove themselves through reaction. Instead, they observe, process, and respond with precision when their words will carry the most weight. Silence is also a refuge for self-mastery. It creates space for reflection, allowing the mind to observe emotions, desires, and impulses without interference. Anger, envy, fear, and pride often thrive in speech that is hasty and unfiltered. The intelligent, however, practice restraint. When provoked, they measure their reactions. When praised, they remain grounded. Marcus Aurelius writes, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." The disciplined use of words is inseparable from the mastery of the self. Each moment of quiet fortifies resilience and ensures that action, when it is taken, is deliberate and unshakable. Strategic silence also grants clarity in relationships. By listening more than speaking, the intelligent perceive motives, intentions, and subtleties that escape the loquacious. They notice the gaps between words and actions, the hints of hidden agendas, and the quiet expressions of truth. In doing so, they are able to navigate social dynamics with precision, responding only when necessary, and avoiding the traps of manipulation or emotional overextension. Seneca teaches that it is better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. Yet the truly intelligent take this further. They remain silent not to impress, but to understand. Furthermore, strategic silence creates a presence that commands respect. Those who speak less are heard more when they do speak. The restraint itself conveys confidence, self-possession, and an understanding of the world that is rare in a society obsessed with opinion and noise. People are drawn to those who do not seek constant validation, who allow their actions to speak louder than their words. Silence, in this sense, becomes a form of influence, a subtle authority that cannot be bought or feigned. This habit also shields the intelligent from the destructive pull of trivial concerns. Gossip, judgment, and emotional drama lose their power when one refuses to engage. By choosing silence over reaction, the intelligent conserve their energy for what truly matters, the cultivation of wisdom, virtue, and long-term strategy. Life's distractions no longer dictate their emotional state. They are anchored in reason, observing rather than reacting, responding rather than lashing out. Ultimately, the art of strategic silence is not a withdrawal from the world. It is a deliberate engagement with it on one's own terms. It is the recognition that the loudest voice does not equal the wisest mind, and that true power often resides in restraint, observation, and patience. The intelligent understand that in silence they are free from impulsive words, free from manipulation, free from emotional turbulence. And when they finally speak, their words carry the weight of insight, the authority of experience, and the calm force of a mind unshaken by the chaos around it.
Habit 7. Mastery over impulse and desire. The final habit that defines the truly intelligent is the mastery over impulse and desire. In a world that constantly tempts, distracts, and manipulates, the ability to govern one's own impulses is a sign of rare cognitive and emotional sophistication. This habit is not about deprivation or denial. It is about choice, control, and the deliberate shaping of one's own character. As Seneca writes, "No man is free who is not master of himself." The intelligent recognize that the power to act according to reason rather than passion is the cornerstone of all lasting achievement and inner peace. Impulse is the silent thief of potential. It manifests as hasty speech, rash decisions, emotional overreactions, and the surrender to fleeting pleasure. The average mind surrenders to it constantly, mistaking the momentary thrill for happiness, the immediate reaction for wisdom. But those who cultivate intelligence know that true power lies in pause, reflection, and discipline. They practice the Stoic principle that we are disturbed not by events themselves, but by the judgments we attach to them. They observe their impulses without surrendering, acknowledging desire without being enslaved by it. Desire, too, is a double-edged sword. It drives ambition, curiosity, and growth, but left unchecked, it enslaves. The intelligent distinguish between what is necessary and what is trivial. They do not chase status, approval, or material excess. They pursue virtue, understanding, and self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." By restraining desire, they conserve energy for meaningful pursuits, focusing on what they can control rather than what others dictate or the world tempts. This mastery over impulse also fortifies emotional resilience. The intelligent do not allow anger, fear, jealousy, or envy to dictate their actions. When provoked, they pause. When tempted, they assess. When disappointed, they reflect. In every moment, they act deliberately rather than reactively. Epictetus teaches that no man is hurt but by himself, emphasizing that harm comes not from others but from our ungoverned responses. The intelligent internalize this wisdom, transforming potential vulnerability into unshakable strength. Mastery over impulse and desire creates a presence that commands respect. People are drawn to those who are steady, controlled, and deliberate. The intelligent are not easily swayed by peer pressure, emotional manipulation, or social expectation. Their calm confidence stems from the knowledge that they are guided by reason rather than passion. In conversations, negotiations, and relationships, this control becomes a silent authority, an aura of power that cannot be bought or feigned. Moreover, this habit enables long-term vision. The intelligent recognize that momentary indulgence often sabotages enduring success. By restraining impulses, be it in spending, speaking, or reacting, they preserve freedom and agency for meaningful goals. They play the long game, understanding that patience, persistence, and deliberate action always outweigh fleeting gratification. In this way, the mind becomes a fortress, impervious to distraction, manipulation, and the ephemeral chaos of the external world. Ultimately, mastery over impulse and desire is the culmination of all intelligence. It requires self-awareness, patience, reflection, and courage. The courage to confront one's own weaknesses, to resist the seductive pull of immediacy, and to act according to principles rather than whims. The intelligent understand that freedom is not the absence of rules, but the sovereignty over one's own actions. It is the conscious choice to live according to reason, to value virtue over pleasure, and to endure adversity without surrender. This seventh habit, when cultivated, transforms the mind into a weapon of clarity, a sanctuary of strength, and a vessel of resilience. It is the habit that ensures not only intelligence but wisdom, not only knowledge but character, and not only insight but unshakable fortitude. In mastering impulse and desire, the intelligent achieve what few ever do: true freedom, unwavering focus, and a life guided by reason rather than chaos.